How's everybody doing today? Alright, so I thought that I would do a little bit different video today to get everybody caught up on what's happening and what's next. Okay, first things first. So if you saw the last video, you saw the end of it that showed my son Aaron in a car and said, "Welcome home, Aaron." Well, he's home. So I do have a video planned. I'm in the process of doing that right now, about Aaron, what happened to him, where he is now, his recovery and all of that. So stay tuned for that, and thank you again to everybody who gave your support in any way, whether it was through the GoFundMe or through kind words and keeping him in your thoughts. Any of that, I appreciate it very, very much, and he is now seeing it and is just astounded by the outpouring of well wishes for him from people that don't even know him. Okay, so let's see. There's been a few changes around here since all of this happened. So on July 1st was his accident, and everything came to a screeching halt. We had a lot of projects in the making, and we were working on the front porch when this happened, when I got the message and call. So because of everything, everything's been put on hold. Matt and the kids have done a really good job with holding down the fort while I was gone with Aaron for that month in the hospital, and I'm very appreciative of that. We have a lot more to do though, and things have to kind of pick back up again now that Aaron is home and safe. So that's what's coming next. A greenhouse. We're building a greenhouse, so that's going to be this coming weekend actually. So today is Thursday, probably Saturday and Sunday we'll be getting that done. That will go in that side of the property. So I want the greenhouse to be, I think it's going to be like a 8 by 10 and hard materials, so no more of all the metal piping that doesn't work, and and plastic covering that blows the whole thing over with a little windstorm. So that's what we'll be doing for a greenhouse. It'll have a wood base, a wood bottom, and that corrugated plastic, hard plastic for the top and sides. We are talking about venting and things like that. So that's an exciting project for me. I really would love to get that finished. That would help me a whole lot with planting, because this year part of the problem with the crops is that it got started so late, because we had a freak winter snow. Actually, there's a video on it. I can link that. Out of nowhere, and I think it was in May. So we had really cold weather for this spring. It just didn't want to warm up at all, and we had snow when it wasn't supposed to be snowing, and So it just kind of messed everything up as far as getting things in the ground. So yeah, the greenhouse is going to help quite a bit with that, and also with helping to plant the fall garden for next year, because I've already planted. I've already direct sown what needs to be direct sown, and we have lots of stuff growing over here on the table. I've already planted a whole bunch of stuff, and it's already germinated. Literally within 2 days, it was already germinated. So, and that's for the fall garden. So we've got more cabbages. I'm gonna try that again, and not zucchini, cantaloupe, and that may not work. I've just kind of like, let's go for it and see what we can do. Anyway, there's a bunch of stuff growing for the fall garden, stuff that is cold weather crops, and a couple things that kind of snuck in just to see. And like I said, I've direct sown everything else, peas and beets and radishes and things like that. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually looking for, well, I'm always looking forward to fall because it's my favorite season, but I'm looking forward to seeing how things grow for the fall garden. I'm hoping better than the summer garden. Our summers have been, this summer has been brutal for gardens. It has been heat wave after heat wave after heat wave, over 90 degrees every single day. For a couple of months now, there has only been a handful of days that have not been over 90 degrees, and that's not typical for us. We do get heat waves, but not this often. It has been very, very brutal. For somebody like me who hates the summer, I hate that kind of weather. Matt thrives in it. He loves it. I just can't stand it. It's too hot. It's, I don't know. It's oppressive for me. I cannot deal with it. I literally, physically cannot deal with it. It makes me feel sick. Much prefer the fall weather, even over spring. Fall is my favorite. All the colors, everything that comes with it is my absolute favorite. Okay, so a couple new, well, and not so new animals on the farm are, we have turkeys. So we had turkeys before, as you remember, but they died. And what part of it was, we had 6 turkeys and they died because of the heat. We came out one afternoon and they were all just dead, and they were probably 4 to 6 weeks old. We had a couple of different ages. So yeah, they had all died because of this. The heat is just it's way too much. So we did end up, while I was at the hospital with Aaron, I had Matt go pick up 4 turkeys that were 2 months old already. Yes, I think 2 months old already. So now that means they're probably 2.5 months old. This was only a couple of weeks ago. So now we have the 4 turkeys. I wanted to get some older ones just because of the heat and resilience, I guess, trying to combat anything else going wrong. So yeah, they're white-breasted. I will show you. Actually, I did show you, I think, already in the beginning. But yeah, white-breasted turkeys. I would like to get more, and I plan to get more. I would like to do maybe a turkey a month. We do eat a lot of turkey. I plan to, within probably the month. By the end of this month, we're in mid-August right now. I don't know the exact date. I've kind of lost track of my days. So yeah, we'll get more. And by the time we get them, though, it should hopefully start to be chilling out with the heat, because it's wicked hot. We have more chicks. I had ordered 40 more meat birds, Cornish cross, before any of this happened. So a couple of months ago, I had ordered 40 more. And they came in just, I want to say a week or week and a half ago. Since then, 4 have died, and we have 36 left, so, but 2 of them look like they have a broken leg. And that we're kind of nursing them, taking care of them, trying, you know, making sure they're eating and drinking and everything. And the reason they have a broken leg is that the turkeys pecked at them like crazy. They had blood on above here, around their beak, and the turkeys got their leg. Their leg is swollen, so it's starting to get better though. They're actually starting to now put a little bit more weight on those legs and kind of running around, well, limping around the cage. So they are isolated in their. They're all in the tractor, but excuse me, but they are isolated in a separate part of the tractor. So they're doing better. I thought they were gonna die, but not yet. And it's been a few days since this happened. So we're keeping everybody away from the turkeys because they are mean. Turkeys are mean. I did not know that. So they're fine with the ducks, though. It's probably because the ducks will fight back. But yeah, so that's that for the meat chickens, except for. Well, I'll get to that in a little bit because that kind of goes with something else that's happening. Alright, so I've actually gotten a few questions about eggs, and yes, we have started getting eggs. Those came too, started coming when Aaron was in the hospital, so probably the second week, end of the first week he was there. I received a picture from Matt with Aiden holding 2 little teeny eggs from the chickens. And honestly, it was a really good thing to see amidst everything that was going on. It was like a little bit of happiness in what was happening. So it was nice to see. And since then, it has increased. So we started out with, the first picture was 2 eggs, and now we're getting about 5 eggs a day. And that's not even all the hens laying yet. So we have, well, clearly 5 of them are laying eggs, but we have 9 that are of the age. Well, yes, because I think the young reds are just starting to lay, because I'm finding itty bitty brown ones that are smaller than the rest. So I think they're part of who is laying, because there's 3 Rhode Island reds that are younger than the other hens that we got originally. So yeah, everybody is just getting into the groove of things. The eggs are starting to get bigger, and it's really awesome. It's like, who knew you could be so excited about going into a chicken coop and picking up eggs that you put in your fridge, and you know, in 2 days your egg carton is full again. So I think it's pretty neat. I think I got 2 turkeys fighting. Well, that was weird. I meant to get that on video and I hit the camera instead, so I literally recorded nothing. It was one turkey had his head against the other turkey's head and was just pushing him around. What does that mean? I'm gonna have to look that up. It's over now though. They're all just kind of walking around eating the grass now, so. Alright, so what's next on our list? The zucchini and the squash in that garden by the fence. Well, depends on which area in that garden by the fence, because for some odd reason, the ones on the far end, they're not producing anything. Well, they are, but they're not staying alive, I guess. The fruit keeps dying off. It gets like this big, and then just starts to turn yellow and dies off. Not sure, and that's zucchini and yellow squash over there. I'm not sure what that is. Cut to past the celery and I forgot what the other one is. Oh my goodness, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, a couple crops down, not far. There are more where Aiden and I planted in the mystery garden. Apparently we planted a bunch of zucchini, because that's coming in fantastic. And it's literally maybe, I don't know, 10 feet away from the other squash and zucchini, so I'm not quite sure what's happening with this and why that part is growing great. We've already harvested some, and there's just so many, even on just one plant. and the others are not. So, I mean, it's all the same soil. I haven't done anything different as far as planting. The only thing different is the ones on the end are hilled. I planted those in the hills, and these we didn't. We just stuck them in the ground because that's our mystery gardens. We just literally just threw things in there, covered it up, and left it. Everything that we've done in the mystery garden is doing great, actually. There is the spaghetti squash in there. There's volunteer tomatoes everywhere. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that squash over there. I don't see many bees. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do see some open flowers today. They weren't open yesterday. There's a few. There's a few. But over here, there's a lot. So maybe that's the problem. There's more over here than there is over there. I don't know. But these are things that I'm keeping track of. These are things that I'm paying attention to and I'm doing some research on for next year. As well, if you watch our videos, you know that I am using this year. It's basically my experimental year because we just moved here in December, so this is literally our first year planting anything here, and for the most part I would say it's doing fairly well. Being away for a month did not help, so that might have something to do with the maybe lack of progress in some areas, but yeah, I don't know. That's just something that I'm trying to figure out and work on so that I don't have this issue next year. Now, speaking of next year, I have decided, especially since we will have the greenhouse up this year. Next year, I have decided that I am really, really, really going all out with gardens. So what I mean by that is that we are going to be expanding our gardens quite a bit. So over in Aiden's garden, he has that section, if you can see it, he has that section there, and it's doing really, really well. But we are going to take that and expand it this way to meet up with this garden. So it's going to be all of what it is, and it's going to expand and go all the way across through to where his garden ends now over there. In that section over there, because you're probably thinking, wait a minute, this is your trail, this goes up to where you keep pigs and that kind of thing, and that is very, very true. But I have a plan for that. So what's going to happen with that is we'll still have the pathways to go up here and to handle the pigs and things like that, but over in that section between Aiden's garden and the outhouse, there is another small path that we're actually going to expand and make bigger for multiple reasons. One, so that I can expand the garden and we can take it all the way through. And there'll be pathways just like this garden has in between the beds so that I can get through and that kind of thing. But over there, we'll expand the pathway because it's actually going to be a lot easier to get pigs in and out if we do it over there versus over here, because then we can just back a trailer up straight to the back from the driveway and not have to do curves and getting around the greenhouse or anything like that. So the plan is to expand gardens here and have a straight shot from the driveway straight back to get the pigs. So yeah, that's actually really exciting for me because I'm gonna be able to expand this garden quite a bit. We're going to get a lot more food production out of this area, and chickens have already been all over here. This is where we had our compost piles, and so it's very good ground right now that we could plant on. Now in the garden down here by the fence, if you go in there and you look at this garden, because this was after we planted this one down here is got some areas that are sparse. It's not all filled in. There are lots of areas actually that have nothing in it, and that's either because we just didn't plant anything in there, or things died off and they're just not there anymore. So yeah, that's going to be a lot more room to plant. I mean, if I were to condense everything that's in there now, I'd probably have half of that entire garden bed still available. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's behind the chicken tractor here. It starts on this end of the fence. I'm trying to see where I'm at here. Starts over here and then goes all the way across to over there. You can see where it ends. That's the squash and zucchini I was talking about that's not growing. That's the squash and zucchini over here behind this fence that is growing. Or not squash, just zucchini. So yeah, if I take everything that's over there and I condense it, it probably leaves half the bed left. So that'll be another area, and I think what we're going to end up doing is kind of bringing it out again. It's kind of like an L, because there's a whole area over here where the chickens just were. Well, not the chickens, the ducks and the turkeys just were, and it's tore up right now. We're letting it rest, let it come back. It looks like over here did, and now over here is beautiful lush grass. I mean, I had people like, "Oh my God, you're like ruining your grass," and da 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 da. And well, one, I'm not trying to. Sorry, my alarm went off. It's almost time to give Aaron his meds. Anyway, I'm not trying to grow grass. I'm trying to grow food. So, although it's beautiful and, you know, it's nice to have a nice lawn, I'm not looking for a lawn. I'm looking for food. So, yeah, so that will come back. It's resting now. I took them off. They're all on nice fresh grass now. And that we may bring the garden out that way towards the shed, because we're going to have a greenhouse over here. I'm really excited about this part because I kind of think, I know what's going on now, what I have to do next year, what grows great in this soil the way it is, what doesn't grow great in the soil the way it is, amendments and things like that I'm going to have to handle. So this year it's not anything that I'm going to get into because, well, everything's already kind of doing its thing, and it either is or it isn't at this point. So next year I will be amending the soil and adding lots and lots of compost to the soil before I plant. We are going to be getting bees. I'm pretty excited about this. We know exactly where we're putting them, over there. They will be out of the way, but they're actually going to be in a really great spot from what I have learned about beekeeping. So we are going to be having a couple of hives. We'll see how that goes, and it's for multiple purposes. So, one, gardens, obviously. Having bees is a necessity to having a successful garden. You need those pollinators, and I mean, like I said, that's probably what's going on with that squash over there. So that's a huge reason right there. I don't want bees just to have bees. So they will be helping with the gardens. Also, honey. So I eat a lot of honey, and it's mostly in my teas, but I actually go through quite a bit of honey for sweeteners, in the place of sugar for multiple things. So honey is a big deal. Bees overall, and also, you know, helping the environment and the bee count, I guess, because bees overall, you have to have bees, guys. You get rid of the bees, you get rid of us. That's just the way it is. You have to have the bees. So, yes, next year, springtime, my research is telling me that spring is the best time to start, and so that's what we'll do. We're going to be getting our hives and setting them up, getting them ready, and getting some bees so that we can start our beekeeping journey. Another thing that has been happening, and it's been planned all along, but I've been able to do it more since I've been home, is seed saving. So I have been watching Roots and Refuge. For those of you who don't know who that is, she's an amazing source of information on gardening in general, but she gives a lot of information on seed saving and makes it so that it's not so intimidating. I was like nervous about it because you talk about all the cross-pollinating and or hybrids or type of stuff, like crossing two different types of seed and getting something else and that kind of thing. And she kind of just makes it easier and says, just do it, just save the seeds and see what happens. Either way, it's food. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not worrying about what came from where or whether or not it's an heirloom, and I'm just saving seeds. So I have saved the seeds from 3 different kinds of tomatoes, the buttercup squash, and jalapenos, and just all kinds of stuff. And I have things like, I don't know if you can see it, but I have lettuces back here that are bolting. I'm doing that on purpose because I want to save the seeds. So Aiden has some things, basil in his garden. He's letting that bolt because, again, saving the seeds. So I think this is a really good thing to get into, especially nowadays with what's going on, because I tried to find seeds this year, and thankfully I had gotten some before this whole thing this COVID thing hit, and I was able to still plant, but afterwards it was impossible to find seeds. I couldn't find them online, at least not for things that we grow and we eat. So it was really hard to find these seeds, and that kind of scared me because I'm thinking, my goodness, what happens if we have this seed shortage? And it's true that all the people who sell the seeds, they have a shortage now, and you know, they're thinking that next year isn't going to be any better. It may be worse. Who knows? I mean, I'm not trying to scare anybody, but these are just things that through the grapevine you kind of hear. And I implore you, if you have gardens, to save your seeds. And don't worry about what they're next to. Just save the seeds, because either way it's food. And if you need more information, because by no means am I an expert on the situation, I'm just learning myself what to do. But if you want more information, go watch Jess from Roots and Refuge, and there is just a plethora of information on her channel. And I mean, I wish I was like friends with this woman, because she just knows everything, and I'd like soak up all this information from her. Alright, so another endeavor that we have embarked upon is something that was planned the entire time. This isn't anything new or anything that kind of came up at the last minute. This is something that was planned since the get-go of wanting to start a farm. Our homestead, for me, was always 2 things: provide food for my family, first and foremost, and have it try to be a profitable farm. We are providing food. We have a freezer full of pork and a freezer full of chicken. We'll have turkeys and more chickens and all the garden stuff and everything else, and we are expanding our gardens. We will be expanding the animals as well. All this will be next year, but we are selling, so what we're doing is raising and selling animals, so meat. Meat chickens, ducks, turkeys, and pigs. So we knew we would be doing this all along. This is something that was planned, but we needed to do it for ourselves first. We needed to figure out how to do it, get the infrastructure in place, make sure that we learned everything we needed to learn, and felt comfortable with doing this for others. And I feel like we're at that place when it comes to the animals. So what we've started to do is I have gone ahead and put out a little bit of, I've just kind of put the bug in people's ear that we are just starting to do this. And we weren't planning on doing anything until the spring. And we got a call yesterday morning from the farm that sells us the piglets. That we got they're in Rhode Island, and they have more now. So we thought, should we put it out there and see what people say? I don't know, should we take that step now? And I mean, we have them available because, you know, we have them on alert. You get pigs, you tell us. So anyway, we are able to get 4 pigs now, if we want them, and I think we're probably going to do that. I do have 2 people that are interested. See, the thing is, they were interested for the spring. Whether or not it's going to happen now, I'm not sure. Matt was saying, well, we could still raise them and then sell off, you know, by pound, the different cuts and things like that. And we can do that. That's something that's definitely a possibility. Do I want to do that? Not necessarily, because that's more. We have 2 freezers now to help with our own food. We may have to get a 3rd because of the amount of production that I really would like to do. Well, I mean 3 freezers if you count the freezer in the kitchen. But I don't know. I just want to kind of raise the pig and send it on its way. I don't want to bring it back and have to freeze it and then sell off piece by piece by piece, that kind of thing. I just don't want to do that. So we may do that if it came down to it. But for the most part, I think what we're doing now is we're seeing what we can get as far as people who are interested in doing this. The thing is that, well, you get a lot of people who are interested in doing it, but won't actually pull the trigger on it. And I think that, I mean, I know a couple of people right off the top of my head right now who are like that. And I don't know if it's fear. I don't know if it's because a lot of people romanticize this lifestyle and they want to have it, but they don't want to do the work to get it. So that's, yeah, it's a little frustrating. I mean, I guess it's not a big deal, but I think I have a crow in my woods here. Anyway, so that's what we're doing with that. We have the option to get these 4 pigs, and whether or not people will actually follow through, we'll find out. And if not, well, it doesn't matter. I mean, if we end up raising them, we eat them ourselves, or if we can't sell them. So either way, I'm not really worried about it. It's a great opportunity right now to do this, and they are already about 3 months old, so I only have to keep them for a couple of months. So anyway, that's that with the pigs. We are also doing the same thing with chickens. I have just ordered 20 more because I've already got a customer, well, 2 actually customers who want chickens, and so they've actually been shipped. I should be hearing any time now if they're at the post office, and go pick them up. But yeah, so things are going well. We will get more turkeys when the time is right, which is actually probably more towards the end of this month, I think, and beginning of next month. We did get more hens, so they're actually just chicks now. We have them. They're in the hen house in their own separate space, and we did that for egg production. And you know, every couple of years, it's been like a few months, but every couple of years you got to sort of switch out your hens because they stop laying, or they slow down quite a bit. But right now they just started, so sorry, my alarm's going off again. I got 10 more minutes. Right now they just started, so I'm not worried about any of that. I just wanted to get more to increase egg production. I do have lots of people asking me about eggs. I'm not going to be selling eggs for probably at least a month or so, maybe 2 weeks to a month, depending, because the eggs are small right now, and because these guys are new at laying these eggs. So when the ladies get a little bit older and the eggs increase more in size, they already have started, but they're just not quite there yet. Then that's when I will go ahead and start the eggs. I mean, we're getting 5 eggs a day right now, and we're eating them all, so there's nothing left. and to sell. So yeah, so that's what's happening with that. Another thing we are starting this year, actually, when we butcher the chickens that we have, and the turkeys, I timed that to hopefully be able to do the turkeys at the same time as the chickens, are butchering classes. So we've done this now 5 times, I think. And we have got a system down. We butchered 18 turkeys in 2 hours and completely by hand. Bucking and all was all by hand, and it was Matt, myself, and a bunch of little kids. And we actually got all of it done really, really well, start to finish in 2 hours. So there's a video on that too. So yeah, I mean, it's exciting that that's another potential income for our homestead. That's something we're going to be starting these classes so that people can come. And again, I've had a lot of people that are, how do you do this? And oh my gosh. And I mean, then some people freak out and call it like murder and things like that. And I'm thinking, and I'd say to them, what do you think you're eating from the store? That bird had to be killed. Unfortunately, that bird had a much less humane way of living and being killed. So I think people's mindsets need to change when it comes to where your food comes from. Okay, so what's next for the homestead? This year, other than maybe running more pigs and more chicken production for sale, ducks, I believe we are going to be starting ducks as well. We have 4 ducks right now. They're just pets at this point. They don't really do much. Somebody gave them to us, so yeah, they're just kind of doing their thing. We have to have them separated though, because there's 2 of them that are jerks. They're quite mean to the other ones, so we keep them separated. So more animals, more, and I'm kind of looking into a couple other smaller animals, but we'll see about that. Rabbits, the kids are still doing their rabbit business. I think Cottontail might be pregnant. And I don't know what Midnight is yet. I don't know if it's a male or a female. I actually should probably check. It's probably old enough now to find out. But so we're still doing the rabbits. We have 4 rabbits now. So increase egg production, increase animal production, increase garden production. So like I said, these are going to be expanded quite a bit. The greenhouse is going to go up hopefully this weekend. We found a trailer for an amazing deal. It needs a little bit of work on the sides, but the structure is there and it's solid. So all we got to do is replace that. I mean, it's too good to pass up. So hopefully we're gonna go see it, hopefully, and hopefully get it. The pigs through the fall. Hopefully that will work out, and people will understand that that it's a much better product when it's homegrown. And the price is a little higher, of course it is, because you know, I have to feed those pigs and I have to feed those chickens. I have to buy the pigs and the chickens to begin with. I have to transport them. I have to go get them, feed them, and take care of them, have the infrastructure for them, then transport them to a butcher, pay the butcher, and you know, everything that goes along with raising your own meat. And it's not cheap, it's not easy, and it's a little bit of a hassle when it comes to pigs, but it's worth it in my opinion. So, you know, if you know somebody in that mindset, tell them to get out of that. But I broke down the numbers yesterday for our pigs that we just butchered, and I am floored at how well we did. It was amazing to me, and I'm like, well, I need to use these numbers and show people what you're actually getting, because yeah, I was pretty impressed with how well we did and how much meat we got out of it. So yeah, anyway, that's that. And so basically what's next for our homestead is expansion. I'm not trying to be a huge industrial-sized farm. I don't want that at all. I enjoy my little farm. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. And expanding to that size is not an interest for me, money-wise or work-wise or anything. I don't want it to become work. I don't want it to become a place that I'm not happy anymore. So that's not going to happen. But we are going to expand it to where we're comfortable, to where we've always wanted it to be, where the original plan has always been, and to where we're happy. It would be nice if we could get to the point where Matt could work from home, in the sense that working on the farm and doing it that way instead of having to leave to go to a job. I would much prefer, and he would too, for him to be here. That's a ways off. I don't know if that will ever happen, but that's a goal. And we all know how I like to make goals and reach them. But yeah, that's a goal for that to happen, and to be able to really kick things into high gear. And a farm stand, I would love to have a farm stand. My shop, I am already looking into a shop with the candles I make and all the things that I make. So we'll see. There's lots of plans, lots of things going around in my head that hopefully will come to fruition, and we will just keep pushing until that happens. These are all goals that I've set. I've written them down. I've done a business plan and all of that stuff. So yeah, I'm hoping that that works. As far as YouTube goes, I'll keep making videos, and I will be making more videos now. So I'm gonna try to get back to daily videos, because you know, like I said, everything came to a screeching halt, and I haven't done many in the past month and a half. So more videos. We don't make any money off of YouTube. We don't have nearly enough subscribers and views and things like that. So I hope that picks up, but I don't anticipate that happening. I don't know. we don't have many subscribers. Actually, the majority of you guys that watch are not subscribed. We've had hundreds and thousands of views, but the majority of you are not subscribed. So so if you're not subscribed, please do so. If you want notifications, hit that bell, and that will let you know every time I post a video, which, like I said, will be more often now. We would appreciate it, and we would love to have you along. You know, share us, let people know what we're doing. There is so much that is coming, so much happening, and you know, you guys will you're gonna learn right along with us. Some of this stuff is new, some of it's not so new, and we're fine with it, but we're always learning, and things always happen, and new stuff happens, and so we're gonna start growing more things and new things, and in better ways, and more infrastructure, building things, and you know what I mean? So just like all around everything that happens, because having a farm, there's always something to do. Always. There's always something to do. So yeah, I will bring you guys along with me, and it'll be fun. So come along with us, subscribe, share, let people know we are here, and trying our darndest to get this thing up and going. So far so good, I'd say. We moved in December. We started planting in the greenhouse, I want to say March. Can't remember. That's another good reason to have videos. I can go back and look. And we, March, April, May, June, July, August. So 5 months, guys. 5 months. And we have established gardens. We have multiple animals. We have meat in our freezers. I would say that that's a success. and I am not by any means disappointed with what we've done, because I'm just overjoyed that I get to do this every day, because this has always been my dream. I've always wanted to have a homestead, always wanted to farm, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about it, and I hope you guys come along with us. I thank you guys, and I'll see you soon.